There she is. I almost started belting out. There she is. Well, I just almost did it again. It's America. That's Miss Tiff.
we
Dr.
need
Tiff.
we need
How are
some
you,
music.
Dr. Tiff?
I am awesome.
So, there's something been going on with Instagram. The live feed hasn't been going out to Instagram.
Oh,
And I got a thing from Restream saying that there's been some sort of problem with every platform like
hmm.
OBS and all of them connecting through. So if you guys are used to watching us on Instagram, it's not us, it's Instagram. They got an Instagram thing.
Oh man.
Welcome to our live streams. My name is Jim, and this is Dr. Tiffany Marie, and this is our weekly live stream. We love, love, love doing this, changing lives, and man, this is going to be a really good one. I don't know Angela, Dr. Tiffany's guest, but I know Kevin, my guest, very, very well. Means the world to me. I've gotten to know Kevin really well over the last couple of years, and his testimonial is absolutely amazing. I'm really excited about this, Dr. Tiffany. Folks,
Great.
if you've been invited to this live stream by somebody, if somebody's tagged you, if you got a notification saying, hey, what is this live stream? And you got two random people. Well, she is Dr. Tiffany Marie, and I am Jim Grasser. I'm just a random competitive barbecue cook who decided to start talking about Feel Great System on TikTok. And along the way, it kind of blew up. There's been a lot of people who have gotten healthy, myself included. I had a 12.2% A1C. I now have a completely unmedicated 4.8% A1C. That means I have completely reversed type 2 diabetes. I also had really, really bad cholesterol, like 1 foot in the grave kind of cholesterol, 459 LDL. I've had two different doctors say that was the worst number they'd ever seen. And all of my cholesterol numbers are in the norms now. My blood pressure is normalized for the first time since I was like 23, completely unmedicated there as well. And along the way, I would say that I've seen no fewer than 100 people reverse type 2 diabetes and then heart disease and all sorts of things. And it's been an absolutely fun ride. And I met Dr. Tiffany Marie. And so rather than me introduce Dr. Tiffany Marie, I think it's important that she does. Because did you see this person? Yeah, I know you did. This person last week, it's not even a real doctor. I hope that person's listening right now.
That's okay. That's okay. Yes, Alabama is in the house. Now, I am a real board certified family and lifestyle medicine physician, and I've been a physician for 20 years. And you know what? Honestly, you can really easily look me up. But that's not even why I'm here. I'm here because after 20 years of practicing medicine, the old way, giving prescriptions and seeing that really wasn't helping anything, it was like a Band-Aid. And my people still weren't getting that much better. So I figured there's got to be something else. And I got introduced to lifestyle medicine. And that's about going after the root cause of the conditions. And it's a real specialty, people. And what I learned with that is I learned I'm missing something. I'm missing some tools. I'm missing some tips to help my patients actually do these lifestyle changes to reverse these conditions. And so once I learned that and started getting on social media, I started running to our mutual friend who was like, hey, have you heard of these products? And much like that person is like, are you a real doctor? I was like, they not even doctors telling me about this stuff. Is this real stuff? And I had to do my own research. I had to vet the studies. I had to look at the product, look at the ingredients, do a deep dive into the ingredients about what I thought about them. And you know what? It all made sense, especially when I used it, get off of my blood pressure medicine, stop having my hot flashes, help my brother get off his insulin, his Trulicity, his metformin, took his butt out the ICU and put him on these natural products, as well as helping my mom reverse her prediabetes and so many others. It became a no-brainer. And that's why I'm on social media. And I don't care if people question what I got. You don't have to have any degrees behind your name to talk about how great these products are. And that's why I'm here.
You know what, Dr. Tiff? So a piece of your resume, if you will, that you've left off is your connection to Dr. Ben Dickman and then his connection to the American Diabetes Society. So we're all familiar with the American Diabetes Association. And the American Diabetes Association, of course, we're familiar with that, right? The American Heart Association, the American Diabetes Association. And they have this really good line that says, if you'd like to manage your type 2 diabetes.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
And we've all heard that. How can you best manage your type 2
Yep.
diabetes? The American Diabetes Association Society has a different kind of mantra. How do you reverse it?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. And Dr. Ben Bickman, that is Dr. Ken Berry. There are a number, I think Dr. Nina Teicholz is in that. There's a number of very prominent doctors who are, in that society trying to help educate people on how to
Mhm.
do this, that it can
Mhm.
be done. And here's the deal. One of the founding members of that is a guy named Dr. Ben Bickman. Dr. Ben Bickman, if you guys are unfamiliar with him, he is a professor of cell biology and physiology at Brigham
Yep.
Young University. He understands the relationship between insulin and cell probably better than anybody else in the world. He's been published a ton on this. Dr. Tiffany's going to go into detail on what that really is. But what I wanted to do, Dr. Tiff, is you kind of leave that piece of the puzzle out. Will you tell us about your connection with Dr. Bickman right now?
Yeah, right. I mean, he is one of the founding members of the whole insulin IQ. And actually, somebody we get to listen from on a very common basis, Lindsay Venn. I mean, she works closely with him. I think she's chief medical officer, if I'm not mistaken. But this is a way for anyone to get information. I mean, you can become a member of Insulin IQ without paying a fee, just a membership, and get to learn so much. But also, if you want to learn more and get to work more with Dr. Ben Bickman, sit in on his classes, yeah, there's a fee, and you can be certified as a metabolic health coach. And so, yes, I took the time to learn more because I'm about helping my people as best I can. And I have really enjoyed it because he is awesome. As much as we learn in that 1 hour, he knows more than I forget. I mean, clearly.
So you're a coach for the world's top metabolic scientist, Insulin IQ, and Dr. Tiffany is a coach for that guy, Insulin IQ. You always kind of downplay that. And I think that's an important piece of this puzzle here, because as you're going to illustrate here shortly, the connection between insulin and cell, that's so important. And that's what Insulin IQ really does is really teaches about that. And I want to throw something out here, and I'm putting the cart a little bit in front of the horse. But if you're listening to us right now and you feel like you are very, very sick, or you feel like your health is just slipping and you can't seem to get a hold of things, please listen to this live stream.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This live stream will give you hope. Okay, I'm borderline begging you. Please listen to this live stream. I think it will help you. It will give you hope.
Yes.
That's what we do. That's what we do, is we give hope. Dr. Bickman would say that no matter how far gone you are, you can always reverse insulin resistance. And I keep saying that. Again, I'm putting the cart in front of the horse. But Dr. Tiff is going to go into detail about that.
Yeah.
So if you've been tagged into this live stream, if somebody's invited you, somebody shared it with you, listen to it. It's only an hour long. And it's a little bit of me rambling. It's a lot of her making a lot of sense and some wonderful testimonials. And it's only an hour. Might be the best hour of your life. It might just change your life. If you are one of these people who has had this absolutely amazing experience and you want to tell other people about it, you're like, I don't know how to talk about this stuff. Invite them here. Tag them here. We're across, we are across, what is the number? Tiff, I think it's 15 different platforms. This thing gets seen. I don't know if you saw or not, but last week, the Facebook one, just by itself, by the end of the second day, was like 8,000 views.
Wow.
It is crazy. There were 10,000 plus people that watched this live stream last week. And so if you want to share this and they're not on Facebook, you can share the YouTube. If they're not on those, but they're on TikTok, we're also live on TikTok. I see J Todd over on TikTok says, I love you guys. Thanks for all the info. This is Jan out of Albuquerque. We love you too, Jan. So we're across every major platform. Share this information out. Share this live stream with everybody out there on Facebook. To do it, all you do is type the little @ symbol and start typing somebody's name. When it populates, hit enter. They'll get a notification the next time they log into Facebook that you tagged them in here. And I've made my best plea to get them to listen. So let's move forward. Also, if at the end of this, if you decide that you want to order these products, just get with the person who brought you here. And if you stumbled across this live stream, just get with either myself or Dr. Tiff, and we'll kind of point you in the right direction. Okay?
Yes.
So with that being said, Dr. Tiff, I want to get right to some testimonials. I'm really, really excited today.
Yes, I see. Somebody had their tea.
I'm drinking it. I'm drinking fuel right now.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm all for it. Let's go.
Okay, and I think we are doing Angela first, right?
Yay! Yes.
Blessings.
Hey.
They've changed up my screen a little bit, and I kind of like it, actually. I like that. Hi, Angela.
Blessings. How are you?
Hello.
Can you all hear me?
Yes,
I can.
yes.
Yes, we can hear
Okay.
you.
I'm so
Well,
excited.
blessings, you guys.
Yes. I have gotten blessed to meet so many wonderful people doing this. I mean, that's what makes this so much fun, right? And so not only is this Miss Angela, this is Pastor Angela, somebody who has a lot of influence with people and understands how important it is to one, spread the word. Literally, we're literally trying to improve people's health. And she was so excited to be on the show. I'm so happy you're on here, and I can't wait to have you tell your story. So I'm not gonna say anything else. So you go ahead, spill the beans for us.
Well,
Thank you
first
for
of
being
all,
here.
I want to say blessings to each of you. And I want to thank you all for so much for inviting me to be a part of this life-changing, life-saving experience. I am just so humbled and I'm honored. Want you guys to know that, to be here on to this evening. Um, and when you invited me, when Dr. Tiffany invited me, I really felt very humbled because I'm like, wow, I'm gonna be with the professionals. Amen. Sit at the table with two great people. And I don't know. I know Dr. Tiffany, just met her the last few months since I've been a part of the Unicity family. But I almost said Dr. Jim, or is that
Oh, yeah.
correct?
Don't say that.
Don't say, hey, I
Don't say
really
that.
almost said Pastor Jim.
Don't say that. Once upon a time, I was an altar boy, though.
But we know you come with a wealth of knowledge as well. So I'm honored to be in you guys' presence. And thank you all for sharing your platform with me and all of those that's listening. And I pray that I have some members and some friends and some Facebook friends that are listening as well. Because this protocol literally changed my life for the better. And I'm just so grateful. My story is real simple. I was obese. I was sick. Um, I was diagnosed in 2016 with stage 2 um, diabetes. I was in the hospital for about a week with a blood sugar right at 900. My A1C was almost 15. I lost my eyesight. All my kidneys began to fail. My whole system began to shut down. And literally I was dying. They was expecting me to have a stroke or go into a coma, diabetic coma, heart attack or death. And I drove myself to the emergency room and I remember telling my daughter I was so sick and I could not hold I had to use the bathroom like every 5 minutes. I couldn't hold my water. And it would have normally taken me 10 minutes to drive to the emergency room. It took me over an hour because I was stopping every couple of blocks. I was having to stop and drink something cold and I didn't understand that. And I would stop at every McDonald's and get an iced tea. And at that time, they was like $1 and it was full of sugar, but I didn't realize what was going on. I just wanted to cure that thirst. And then of course while I was doing that, I was using the bathroom every few minutes. Got to the emergency room, and the young lady said to me, she said, "You need to go over to the kiosk." I had never even seen the kiosk. They had just started with the kiosk, where you go over to the kiosk and fill out your information. And I broke down and cried because I said, I can't do that. I can't see. And they were so shocked to know that I drove myself. And when they finally, she said, "I'll come and help you." And because of who I am in the community, some of the people knew that I was Pastor Harden. And so, of course, they began to be concerned and they took me to the front of the area there where they check you before they take you to the back. And when they did, they began to do my vitals. And all of a sudden, all these people come running in there and they start asking me, what's your name? Who's the president? When is your birthday? And I really was like, what is going on? And they say, your blood sugar is so high in your blood pressure. We cannot take your vitals out here. They're not even reading out here. We got to take you into the back. And when they took me in the back, they put IV in me and they just they began rushing and doing all of these things. To make a long story short, that's when I found out what my blood pressure was. At the time, I think it was Tina, was it 200 over 199, something like that, outrageous number. And then my blood sugar was right at 900. I think it was 899.
Wow.
And my A1C was right at 15. Okay, fast forward. That was 9 years ago. So I've been struggling for 9 years, back and forth with my blood sugar. I'm having to take my blood sugar twice a day. I really begged the doctor not to put me on insulin. I just felt like if I get on insulin, it's just going to get worse. Well, I went to just recently, I guess it was the first week in February, I went to a specialist and they wanted to put me on insulin. It's still in my mom's refrigerator right now. I never took it. And then they gave me 2,000 milligrams of metformin that I've been taking since 2016, but I cut it down. What is it? Jolerance? I can't even pronounce the word of it, but anyway.
SGLT.
Yes, and glycerin. I take all of it. I got all of these prescribed medication that I take. Well, I got on this protocol back here in, I think it was September of last year. Vicky and Reverend Abraham introduced me to it, where they asked me about coming to a meeting, and I was so busy doing things that I did not take the time to do it. That was back here in September. Fast forward, it's February now. September, I would say November, December, and January, I was very, very ill with my blood sugar. 200, 300, 400, where I would have to go to the emergency room and stay overnight for them to put insulin in my stomach. And I did that after preaching. After going visiting the sick, after doing a television show, a taping, I would end up in the emergency room. And a lot of people didn't know it because I was still saying blessings, but I was so sick, where I would be preaching and just have to lean over the podium and I would just pray, God, please don't let me die preaching. Don't let me die here.
Wow.
And so, and that happened for, a long time. And only people that's a part of my team and that works with me closely really, really know. And so, so in February.
Well, now everybody knows.
Now everybody knows. Yes. And I want to look, and once the doctor tell me, because it's gonna happen, that you're no longer diabetic, sure enough, everybody gonna know. I'm gonna stand on the rooftop and tell Lottie, Dottie, and everybody see what the Lord has done. And a lot of people know my story because I've written about it in several books that I have, and so they see my walk because I've done it publicly, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so with this, when Vicky and them called me about it in February, I was like, yes. And because I had been praying since last year that God would give me a miracle. I said, Lord, I cannot do your assignment sick. I can't do it anymore. You got to heal me, Lord. Give me something to help me because I want to live. I want to do my assignment and I don't want to do it sick. And I made a decision that when I die, I'm not going to die sick. I'm going to die healed in Jesus' name. So they called me. I met them February the 13th. I got on this protocol. They introduced me to these two items right here. And I'm going to tell you something. It has literally, I am 22 pounds smaller since February. Listen, you guys, I've been saying I'm getting excited because I know what God has done. I have not felt this great for 25 years. I'm in a size 14 that I have not been in 25, 30 years. I'm not dizzy. I don't have problems with my eyesight. I'm not experiencing these headaches. My blood sugar has been normal every single day since February. But this is the best part. And I've been telling you guys this. I've been saying this. The best part, I said, in 3 months, I got to go back to my doctor, which was, I went to him last week, which was 3 months from February, right? I said, and I just want my A1C. I said, I just wanted to come down just a little bit. I said, because eventually it's going to come from that 10 to a 6. How about my A1C came from a 10 to an 8? I was so happy.
Yes.
And my doctor was so excited. I put these in his hands. He looked at them, and this is what he said to me. He said, Dr. Pickett, he told me, he said, Pastor Harden, it's working for you. He said, you keep doing what you're doing. He said, I just want you to get it down to a 7. I said, it's coming down under 6. I said, I'm going to be free from diabetes, and you're going to give me the report. I said, I already believe the report of the Lord, but I'm going to hear it from you. You're gonna say she's no longer diabetic. And when that happens, I'm already giving people hope, I know. But when people have seen your walk, people know how sickly I've been. When they see your, like somebody told me today, I look like I'm 26. I said, stop. I'm 64.
I was going for 24.
But they were saying that I'm just, I'm aging backwards.
Yes.
But I want to continue to offer people, as I come to a close, and I can talk about this all night. I want to continue to offer people hope.
Yes.
Help, and healing. I call it the 3 H's. I do it spiritually, but I want to do it in the natural with our physical body.
Yes.
Because we need to live, and we need to live healthy. And as I decreed and declared in 2016, when I realized how sick I was, I said, I decree and declare that I shall not die, but live. And now when I do die, I'm dying healthy in Jesus' name. Y'all take the challenge. Thank y'all for this opportunity.
Do you see the amount of love that you are getting right now,
Woo!
Pastor Harden? Yeah, it is. Our audience is generally very engaged, but hold on.
Yeah,
My goodness.
Yes, love it.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
That's it.
Look at this. Hallelujah.
We went to church.
Incredible.
We went to church on Facebook Live.
It's the miracle
Praise
right
the Lord,
here, y'all.
Pastor.
God gave me
I
this
love
right
it.
here. Yeah, glory.
Susan says amen. Lynette says hallelujah.
All right, watch it.
Look at this. 3 months down, 2 all numbers. Yes, Pastor, you are healed. I absolutely love this. Renee, you and me both.
Yes.
Preach, sis. Amen.
Hey, glory.
They're still going. And guys, I don't know I can't highlight the ones over on TikTok, but TikTok's doing the same exact thing. 6834. Amen. I agree with you. It's happening. Rastos, I love her. What an inspiration.
Yes.
It is. This has been, look at this. Look at this.
I know.
Oh my God. Jesus.
I believe God led me to this as well. Zombeast_JKU says, I believe God led me to this as well. Let me ask you something, Pastor Harden. You are blowing up. I've never seen a reaction like that from our crowd.
Oh my God. Thank you, Father.
Let me ask you this question, Pastor Harden.
Yes.
They're always powerful.
Yes.
Okay. You said that the Abrahams, Vicky and James, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Steered you towards this. Did they steer you towards this live stream in September? Or
They
is there
might
another?
have, but they might have. I was dealing with a lot of things at that time, so I just didn't take the time to. Yeah.
I just know that there's a lot of people that have been coming towards this live stream, and they've stumbled across this, and I love that. I love it. So
Yes.
okay. Well, I don't know how we follow that up, Dr. Tiff.
I don't know.
You get to follow that up, Dr. Tiff.
I know.
A little bit of hallelujahs in your presentation, Dr. Tiff.
Hey, Pastor Jim, we need to take up an offering now. How about that?
Look at this.
I know.
Susan got me crying tears of joy over here. Just getting me back. Okay. So, Pastor Harden, the way that we do this is what I'm going to do is I've got obviously yours is a camera. I'm going to turn your camera off, but you're still to kind of put you backstage as you were earlier. And I'm going to ask you to come back out here at the end of the live stream to answer any questions that anybody might still have for you. And I see some questions coming in right now, but Marion, I'm going to ask you to bring that back out here at towards the end of the live stream. Is that will that work for you, Pastor Harden?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I don't know how to follow that up. Tiff, glad you're going to follow that up. You're up. I'm just going to go ahead and hit mute on my microphone and listen to you. I'm going to I expect some hallelujahs, some amens.
Alrighty, let me share my screen. Let me get going because that just messes you up. I'm just going to be honest.
That was amazing.
Threw me all off.
Absolutely amazing.
Yes, entirely.
Blowing up on both TikTok and Facebook right now. Well, guys, we're also live across a lot of different platforms. But those two right now, there's actually more viewers on TikTok than there is on Facebook, which is strange. It's not been that way for a while. So, yeah. So, okay, Dr. Tiff, I'm going to shut up and let you run the show.
Right. I mean, who wants to follow up after that? But let's talk about the whole reason why we're even using these products. The reason why Pastor Angela has all those great results, right? So over 38 million Americans have diabetes, and about 90 to 95% of them have type 2 diabetes. The problem is 1 in 5 people don't know they have it. They're feeling horrible, just like she was saying. And then you have 97.6 million people affected by pre-diabetes, what happens before. But what's even worse is that you still have heart disease being the number one cause of death. And it's been that way for decades, people. So clearly what we've been doing isn't working. And I was doing traditional medicine. And most of my patients look just like this lady here, going to the doctor like they're going on a weekend getaway. But what I've come to know is that if we actually change our lifestyle, we can change the course of our conditions, meaning we aren't bound by genetics. Now, over half of the world is dealing with insulin resistance. It isn't just the US. And that includes all these conditions around that insulin resistance: PCOS, diabetes, heart disease, right? Fatty liver. And then the symptoms. It's important to know those symptoms. Running to the bathroom, like she was talking about, urinating frequently, drinking a lot of water, having cravings for sugar and salty, inability to lose weight, the skin tags on the neck, the dark patches, the fatigue. And then, the erectile dysfunction, the high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and then that fat around the midsection. I mean, that's huge. That actually increases our risk for heart disease. So what is insulin resistance? And when we think of insulin, we think of the hormone, I usually do, that my grandmother had to take. And she had to lose her leg because her type 2 diabetes was out of control. And so insulin is a hormone our body makes. And it has many jobs. We're going to talk about its job in getting that glucose into the cell. So we use that energy. And then resistance is really a process when the cells actually don't respond to that insulin and don't let it bring the glucose into the cells, and it's floating around outside. Insulin is just like this little black figurine here, pushing glucose into the cell. And then what causes insulin resistance? Having too much insulin in the bloodstream. And what can increase that insulin? Well, we're going to really talk about what we eat and drink, how that actually increases that insulin. So if you think about the macronutrients, the carbohydrates, the proteins, the fat, the carbohydrates break down into glucose, so that makes our pancreas have to release more insulin. Then your protein, then your fat, okay? And then if you're eating frequently, like you pretty much were probably told to do, I used to tell people eat every couple of hours. And then I used to tell everybody, having your 6 to 11 servings of carbohydrates, yeah, that's a good idea. Absolutely not a good idea. Because if you're eating frequently and eating those high carbohydrate meals, you're going to make your pancreas have to keep pushing out insulin until it tires out. And so your cells are floating around in insulin. And over time, they stop listening. So the other issue is that the carbohydrates, not that I like to villainize food, but unfortunately, a lot of our carbohydrates are losing the stuff that protects us from the harm that they can cause. They're losing the fiber. That white rice does not look like wild rice anymore, right? We need that fiber. It helps with our digestion. It helps us feel full longer. It even helps with weight control, and it gives our pancreas a break, allowing our cells to become more insulin sensitive. Now, the reality is it isn't just about willpower. Unfortunately, these foods, I like to call it big fooda, they actually have these things that make it more addictive. They have additives. They have more sugar, more sugar. And so that sugar, our brain is like loving it. It kicks up the dopamine and we're looking for our next hit. It feels like it's calling us, sometimes literally by name. Okay. There's 5 things you can do immediately to help this problem. 5 things. Even if you don't use the tools I like, this is what I talk about on my lives. You can try to do more of a low glycemic index eating, and you can go to the University of Sydney website and actually see that database and type that stuff in. But a better way is to focus on your protein and your fiber, right? Avoid those processed foods entirely because no one needs to eat those. They are not made for human consumption. They aren't. Even in some countries, they even banned a lot of the stuff that we have in our processed foods. And you want to do resistance training. I know I have my people that love to do their cardio, but adding the resistance training is huge in getting that glucose down also. And having high fiber. You're looking for trying to do like 30 grams of fiber a day, but to be honest, that is hard to do with all the mess in our soil. And you want different colors because you want to eat the rainbow. And you want to do it before the food goes bad in your refrigerator, right? So that's when having some tools to bring us that fiber back makes this a little easier. And then time-based eating. Great data on how using fasting or time-based eating gives your pancreas a break. It literally gives your body time for those cells to become more insulin sensitive because you aren't eating. So you aren't making your pancreas release insulin. It gives your cells a break. And so when you get past that 16 to 17 hours, which happens when you miss a meal, either breakfast or dinner, you get cellular cleanup. You remove broken processes in the cells and you allow those cells to reboot themselves. So you want to tap into that natural healing power. And so having tools to help do these things are helpful, especially for people with type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance, because you constantly want to eat every couple hours because your cells are literally screaming for food. Insulin isn't getting that glucose in there, so they are literally hungry. You need something to turn off that food noise. You need something to help you stay full longer. And the great thing about a hormone that our body already makes that comes from our small intestine is a GLP-1 hormone, is it does these things. And Big Pharma figured this out, and they made an injectable way to bind to a receptor to pretend like it's that hormone. And that's Ozempic, Wegovy, Rybelsus. And what it does is it does those things, but it also comes with some baggage, some side effects. Okay, losing 50% of your lean mass is a problem, and lean mass meaning your muscle, your bone, and yes, some water too. But we can't get that muscle and bone back when we lose it. Now, unfortunately, when we're losing all that fat, it's so easy to gain that weight back. And then the other part of this is after 2 years, the cravings come back with a vengeance. And so the reason why you're even taking this and risking the side effects no longer has its use. And what I was alluding to earlier, when you're losing so fast with the semaglutides, you end up releasing myostatin. And so that way it inhibits muscle growth, meaning it makes it hard to get your muscles back and you can't get your bone back. So you end up gaining not just the fat you lost, but even more fat. Great thing about having a product that has chlorogenic acid in it, we're seeing that it actually boosts your GLP-1, which is huge, lowers your post-meal glucose, and improves the insulin response, making your cells more sensitive to insulin. And that's great with the tea we have, and it has ferulic acid. When you add that to your small intestines, that makes the chlorogenic acid work even better. That makes the GLP-1 go up even more. And so what I love, why I keep doing this every week, is because when I talk about these products, the people we help, the people Jim helps, I feel like a superhero. And I know I'm not by myself, but I want to empower people to feel like a superhero in their own stories too. So you can find me on TikTok, Facebook, IG, and I think that's all, folks.
You are a superhero.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, so I see we're getting some questions here, and I wanted to point out that everybody, that's the beauty of this. Okay, so for everybody watching maybe for the first time, the beauty of this is the way that we kind of structure this is we go to a testimonial. That was an absolutely amazing testimonial. And then to Dr. Tiffany kind of explaining what this is all about. And then into another testimonial, which we're getting ready to bring up here in just a moment. And then I try and squeeze in just a little bit of information towards the end of it, how to do it. And then I bring back the guests, and you have the ability to ask the entire forum. Is that the right word? All of us, the panel, any questions that you have. So I do see some questions coming up. Rastro's Unicity and Jim saved me. You saved yourself, Rastros.
That's it.
You saved yourself. I just showed you something. So,
Mhm.
and that is what this is all about, guys.
Yep.
That's what this is all about. It is so incredibly empowering to see people save themselves.
Yep. Get their lives back. I love it.
This guy right here. This guy. How are you, Kev?
How in the world am I supposed to follow that?
Yeah, you know what? High expectations, man. High expectations. It's out there. But if there was somebody
Yeah.
out there that could, I think it's you. So
Yes.
ha- tell us who you are. How did we come across each other? Where was your health
Okay.
at? Where are you at now?
Yeah.
Give your story. Because truthfully, I love your story, brother.
Yeah. And one of the things important about this system that I feel with everybody on this system, we all were at a place where our lives were just not that great. We're all in a place now after being on the system, some for months, some of us for years. We're all at a place now where it's a whole lot better. But somewhere in between, there was a moment where we came across the information we've been searching for. We made a connection with somebody. And I just want to, before we start, I just want to say tonight can be that moment for some people watching, for a lot of people watching. If you're out there watching, please give it, just stay with us until the end and just be ready for your lives to change because it will. It'll change lives. So my story,
So
I started out
so eloquent.
pretty. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No. I'm
So
just saying that is what I think you just said. What I've been trying to figure out how to say. That's so
yeah,
eloquent. What?
yeah. Well, my story. I started out. I had a normal childhood. I played a lot of sports. Um, graduated high school, joined the army. Was a medic in the army. After I got out of the army, I continued that job here where I live in Arkansas. Worked on the ambulance for lots and lots of years. Um, at that point is where my health probably started really going downhill. Um, One of the things about being a healthcare provider is that, no matter what level you're on, you are always the patient's advocate. Everything you do is for the patient's better. And unfortunately, a lot of healthcare providers, by doing that, they end up neglecting their own health. And along with the lifestyle of working on an ambulance, the sleep deprivation, the terrible diets. What I did not know at the time is whenever my adrenaline went up, if I went on a car wreck or somewhere like that and my adrenaline went up, so did my blood sugar. And I didn't even realize it. Um, and much like Miss Angela, who spoke earlier, I found myself, my lab values were in the tank. I had a A1C a couple of times it wouldn't even read. Um, Finally, when it did, around 15, around 14, cholesterol, triglycerides. I guess an easy way to say it, 48 years old, I had a triple bypass. I was 48 years old, planned on working a lot longer on the ambulance, but when you're 48 and you're getting a triple bypass, you talk about a slap in the face. I continued to work on the ambulance for 2 more years, but then I had to stop. Um, it's a young man's job, and I just wasn't cut out for it anymore. So, with that being said, like a lot of people, I thought diabetes was just I don't want to say anything like death sentence. You got to be blunt sometimes. But I was told, just like you mentioned earlier, you can manage it, but that's about all you're ever going to do. We've got lots of medications that's going to help you do that. They never told you what else comes with the medication, but I knew there was an answer out there. I knew that I've heard people who had diabetes and they were able to deal with it. I just had to find the information. And I started looking, and there's so much misinformation out there. You mentioned earlier, I got a diabetic cookbook, and 75% of the recipes had sugar in it. I mean, quite a bit of sugar. just, but once again, I just kept searching, kept looking. The harder you try, the harder it is. Sometimes it's like, I think I told Jim one time, it feels like you're in quicksand. The harder you try, the deeper you feel like you're going. And it got to the point where not only my physical health was at jeopardy, but my mental health. That's that's when it really started getting bad. I was in some pretty bad places and didn't think I had anywhere to go, and kept searching. Thank God I kept searching, and I was getting interested in fasting. I was getting interested in keto diets. Got on TikTok one night, started scrolling around, and I guess the way it works, the more things you watch, the more it gives you that type of content. And I saw something that said the healthy pitmaster. And I didn't say this earlier, but I am a certified barbecue judge. Um, I'm really proud of that. So I thought, well, maybe I can, watch this guy's live stream. Maybe he's got some keto recipes or something. He's calling himself a healthy pitmaster, so he must be doing something right. And then when I found out it had nothing to do with barbecue, it was all about the protocol. And he asked a question in his live stream, and these live streams are so important even after you start the system because there's so much information. He asked the question, please tell me what diabetes has done to you. How has it impacted your life? I can't remember the exact question you had. And I put in the comments that diabetes has devastated my family and me. Sorry. And when you watch people in their live streams, you can tell when they're looking down, reading the comments. And I just noticed Jim just stopped. He stopped talking. He just stared at the screen. And then he looked up at the screen and he said, he called me out by name. He said, Kevin M. And I was like, holy cow, because I didn't know how live streams worked. I wasn't that familiar with them. And he said, whatever you do, and just like I said earlier, stay with this live stream. Listen to what I have to tell you. Give me a chance and I will change your life. And he wasn't lying. He changed my life. I ordered the protocol or ordered the product that night. I can't remember exactly how long it took me to get the product, but around August the 3rd, I believe it was 2 years ago, August the 3rd, I was on my way to Memphis to get my lab values. And I was I was blown away. I couldn't wait to share it with Jim. And I sent him a picture of my CGM. My blood sugar was just steady as could be. I think we were somewhere between 80 and 90 all day long. Yes, thank you. And this, I can't read that, but I do remember this text. I sent it to Jim. It says, I'm going over to Memphis. I wanted to share this with you. Triglycerides, cholesterol down to normal levels. You can see at the top of the screen where my average blood sugar was in the 200s. And then at the bottom, that was pretty much a complete day, starting out at 80 and then staying in normal limits, all that green. It was just amazing.
Those two were 17 days apart. Those
17.
two screen jab, those were 17 days apart.
Now, since then, I have an A1C now. I believe the last one I took was 6.9. And we're starting out with, I think, 12 or 13. I don't even remember what the A1C was starting out.
I want to add to that real quick because
Yeah.
you said that you were going over to Memphis to get your cholesterol labs. And
Yes.
this is the text. So I show this text when I travel. When I travel, I show this text a lot. Cholesterol was 212, now 138. Triglycerides was 382, now 150. HDL was 30, now 37. This is this guy. A lot of you have seen me do my presentations on the road, and I show this text thread. This is Kevin. Don't mean to cut you off, brother.
No, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. I'm down overall about 32 pounds. And yeah, it's you have to be consistent. You do. And I haven't been the best person at being consistent, but I've been on the protocol for quite a while. The intermittent fasting, everything you're going to learn about. It's just the consistency is the key. But we know that it works. And the great thing about this protocol and this system is you will meet people from all over the world, all types of body types, all types of ages, all types of backgrounds. You've heard two people tonight, and there's so many out there that have so many diverse stories. But the thing that is common is, number one, We all had that moment where we made that connection and learned what we needed to learn.
Yeah.
The door was open. The door is opening right now for someone tonight. The second thing is, after all the diversity I talked about, the blood, the lab values, they don't lie. Everyone's lab values, you got a money back guarantee if it doesn't work, but it's going to work. You have people from all walks of life, all getting the same results. And that's just the beauty of it. And the food, it's all food-based products. The food was here long before the medicine was ever here. And when those doctors tell you you can manage it, you can treat it, but that's about all you're going to do, you need to get rid of those doctors. I lost 185 pounds in one day. I did. About a year and a half ago, I lost 185 pounds because a guy looked me in the face and said, "You don't have what it takes to make this work." He knew what I was doing, and he knew I was getting good results, and still told me I needed that insulin, still told me I needed metformin. And when I got up to leave, I asked him, I said, "How much do you weigh?" And he said, "I weigh 185 pounds. And I said, "Oh, that's good to know." So I tell people, on that day, I lost 185 pounds just like that. I'm sorry. But this protocol will give you what you need to start taking control of those moments. Start taking control of your health. Stop looking at so many people for answers. Just stay with the protocol. Stay with this program. You have the best support group you're ever going to find with any product. I've never, ever seen any better support group. I go to live streams all the time. I'm popping in to Jim's, Dr. Tiffany's, Tanya. There's so many people I could mention tonight that I've met through this system. And there's so many more I've still got to meet. But get into the live streams, get engaged. It'll change your life. I'm telling you, it'll change your life.
It's an amazing community. It really is.
Yes.
And if you're worried about that, if you're on the fence, like we always tend to say, some people are on the fence. The one thing I've learned, and I can't remember where I saw this, I can't remember who said it. The best decision you can ever make is the right decision, right? You make the right decision, everything works out fine. You know, the second best decision you can ever make is the wrong decision, because you learn from your mistakes. We're all told that. You may try this system and find out it's not worth anything, and then you can tell other people, "Hey, I tried that," and you can help people that way. If that was the case, and it's not going to be the case, but anyway, the worst decision though you can ever make is to not make any decision at all. So you've got nothing to lose, literally. You can either make the right decision or the wrong decision, but you're still good no matter what. But if you sit there and you don't make a decision, then you just got yourself to blame. I don't know what else to say.
That was awesome, Kevin.
I think you did
you.
okay. I think you had big shoes to fill there.
Oh my goodness. I'm still, I was sitting right there with her.
Hey, Michael's asking what state you're in, and I don't dox, but you already said it. He is in the great state of Arkansas.
No, Arkansas.
Okay, brother. I'm gonna turn your camera off here, and I'm gonna zip right through how to use the products, and then I'm gonna bring y'all back in. I think there's gonna be a ton of people have a lot of questions, so I'm gonna be as quick as I can be. And I know that who was it over here on TikTok? Tyga6657. I haven't forgotten about you. I see Tyga6657's question. So if you guys have questions, start loading them up right now. I'm going to turn your camera off, Kevin, and I'm going to bring you right back, brother.
All right.
Love it, man. Mm-hmm. Okay. Tiff. Whoa. I had a feeling it was going to be a great live. I really did. Okay. So how does this work, guys? And I'm going to zip through this because I think it's more important to get them out here. I think there's going to be a lot of questions. So I'm going to kind of zip through this, guys. Something I'm going to add to this, and I've never done this before, and maybe I should have consulted Dr. Tiff first, but we already give out each other's social media platforms anyway. So the Healthy Pit Master on Facebook, and then I also have a second group on Facebook. It's called the Healthy Pit Master Interactive. And I created the group because you can't really ask questions on a page. And so the group, you can ask questions, and there's a lot of interaction there. I would say go and join the group and give the page a follow. On the page, and I'm only bringing this up because Dr. Tiff brought it up last week, I am doing a lot of in-person events. I'm traveling all around the country doing in-person events, and I would love to shake your hand. If you happen to be in one of the markets or you happen to be near where I'm at, come and introduce yourself. I'd love to shake your hand. And on my in-person events and on my TikTok live streams, I go into a lot of detail on the science behind these things. My time gets compressed really short in this live stream because we have Dr. Tiff and we have 2 great testimonials every single week. So with that being said, I'm going to zip through how to take these products. Dr. Tiffany has already talked about intermittent fasting and chlorogenic acid and fiber. Okay. And so with that in mind, what we're going to do is we're going to pair these products with a 16 and 8 time-based eating schedule. Minimum of 16 and 8. If you can go longer, go longer. Okay. But a minimum of 16 and 8. If you are a woman and you're struggling even still, I might recommend the book Fast Like a Girl by Dr.
Mindy Pels.
Mindy Pels. Thank you. Dr. Mindy Pels wrote a book called Fast Like a Girl. I think that's a great book. Every woman should read it. Every dude should probably read it so that it might help them understand their woman. So what we're going to do is intermittent fasting, and we're going to pair these products. Now, there's a slightly different protocol, and I'm being sensitive to the fact that I know that we were watched last week by people in Ireland, and this product is available globally in 60-something different countries all around the world. So in North America, we have a protocol where you make your order. You will get 2 of these teas and 1 fiber packet per month. A box with 30 fiber packets and 60 teas. That breaks down to 2 teas per day and 1 fiber per day. Now, outside of North America, elsewhere in the world, it's the exact opposite. You get 2 fibers per day and 1 tea. So I'm going to talk about the way that we do it here in North America. If you are from outside of North America and you want details on how to do it there, it's actually pretty easy. I'll just add that in here. Okay, so in North America, we're going to wake up and we're going to drink our first tea. They send you a bottle. Dr. Tiff, would you put yours up? Because I always forget that part. I don't ever use that bottle, and I'll explain why. But you have that bottle, and it has a line on it where you can fill it up to the top with Unimate. There's a line right there on the top. Fill it up to there with cold water. Add this packet, shake it up, and sip on it, just as you've seen Dr. Tiffany doing during this live stream. Mm-hmm. Now, personally, if I put cold water into a bottle that size and add one of these, I don't know how to sip that. I drink that in about 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. So what I started doing was I got a 30-ounce Yeti tumbler. I fill this up with hot water and 1 packet, and when it's hot, it kind of forces me to sip. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you drink it hot or cold. I don't care if you have more water or less water. I don't care. Sip on it. Sip on it, sip on it, sip on it. When it's gone, do the same thing with the second packet. It's that simple. It will help you extend your fast. It helps to increase your GLP-1. We've done lots of videos on that. We've done lots of information on that. Dr. Bickman has talked about how this tea increases GLP-1 production. It also increases ketone production. It makes you a better fat burner. It increases the mitochondrial efficiency. Sometime we'll have Dr. Tiff talk about that. But it basically makes you a better fat burner. Proven. Dr. Ben Bickman. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we sip on this tea. When it's gone, we start drinking the second tea. Just like that. Here's the deal. My wife puts both of them in one big thing and drinks that until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You can do that too. Before your heaviest meal of the day, take that same bottle, and there's a line on it that says balance. Fill that up with cold water. This time it has to be cold water. Don't do hot water. That's a mistake you make one time. Cold water, put this in it, shake it up, and drink that one as quickly as you can. Down the hatch as quickly as you can, and then enjoy your meal. And we're going to do that before the heaviest meal of the day, the meal that has the most carbohydrates in it. It's that simple. Literally is that simple. Now, real quick for the people outside of the United States, what are you going to do? Same exact thing. Wake up and drink your tea. Exactly the same thing. The difference is you don't have the second tea. You're done with that first tea. And you're going to drink one of these balanced before each of your 2 meals. That's the only difference. Okay. So if you want further clarification, you're outside of the United States or outside of North America, I should say, and you want further clarification, send me a message, send Dr. Tiv a message. We'll explain it to you. Okay. So with that being said, the company offers a 90-day money-back guarantee, something I didn't say last week, and I don't know if I said it the week before. They do accept HSA, FSA. They accept PayPal. They've tried to make this as easy as possible for you to get your hands on it. Give it 90 days. Try it for 90 days. They offer a money-back guarantee. They offer you money back if you're not satisfied. If you aren't satisfied, just ask for a refund.
Yeah.
But these testimonials, I'm not going to beat that drum too much. The testimonials, if you didn't hear those and think I'm going to try this, come on, get off the fence, try it. Okay. And if you're not satisfied after 3 months, ask for a refund. They'll give you all of your money back.
Yeah.
Questions asked. Okay. Did I miss anything, Dr. Tiff?
Yeah. Renee has in there Klarna that you can pay with Klarna.
Yes. Klarna is another one. Okay. So I'm going to bring back our guests, and I'm going to start with a question that popped up earlier. I don't know if Tyga is still on TikTok or not. Tyga said, can this possibly help with autoimmune disorders? I've got an answer, but I want to listen to Dr. Tiff first.
Oh.
Or you can let me answer. I can go ahead and answer.
Oh, man. I was looking at the comments. My bad. Okay. Autoimmune disorders and the products.
Yeah.
Well, there's great data on the fact that if you retrain your gut, that can actually help autoimmune disorders. And we are seeing some great results. I mean, so many things happen with that. The soluble fiber allows you to improve inflammation. And then you have the whole Unimate. When you actually, the 2 products help with inflammation, they bring down, when they help with insulin resistance, they bring down inflammation because that comes with it. So we are seeing some really great results. I don't know if it's the glycation in the joints. I don't really fully get the science, but we have people with lupus that are having some great results, rheumatoid arthritis that are having some great results, MS. I mean, it becomes, why not try it?
Yeah. I've had now multiple people talk about lupus. Didn't we have somebody that had a deal with, it might have been last week, somebody had a skin condition, not lupus, but psoriasis, I believe, maybe last week or the week before, something like that. Mm-hmm. But I have had multiple people talk about lupus, mm-hmm. And seeing big benefits in their lupus. Okay. What other questions do people have? If I missed your question, I was zipping through. Let's see. Fearfully and Wonderfully Made over on TikTok says, I thank God for Dr. Tiffany Marie and the Healthy Pit Master. I'm so glad to be on this system. Well, we are very thankful for you as well. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being here, and thank you for encouraging other people.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and we're right at our hour. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And, here's one. Beverly is saying she has a client that is stuck. They've lost 15 pounds, not losing any more. I'm going to take a crack at that one, Dr. Tiff.
Sure, go ahead. Hey,
First off, it's not a weight loss program. That's kind of a side effect. And so be consistent. Stay with it. At some point, the body's going to say, okay, now we're ready to go back to that problem. It started off maybe addressing that problem, and then it shifted over and started taking care of other problems. Give it time, be consistent with it. And at some point, the body's going to say, okay, now we're ready to go back to this. But it's attacking the biggest problems first. But more than that, if this is a woman, have them read that book, Fast Like a Girl. Mm-hmm. Fast Like a Girl. I've seen multiple women get stuck, and they're all in that menopausal or premenopausal kind of place. And when they start applying Dr. Mindy Pell's, her strategies to it, it's like it jumpstarts things. Like, okay, now we're back on track. Mm-hmm. So try and start that process. Okay.
That would have been what I would have brought. Sometimes playing around with the fasting time.
Okay, perfect. Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're right at our hour. I'm gonna go and yeah, Renee, thank you very much. I'm gonna go ahead and pin that up there. Fast Like a Girl by Dr. Mindy Pels.
Now it's a male, so sometimes I like Life in the Fasting Lane.
Yes, by
By
Dr.
Jason
Jason
Fung.
Fung. Yes, Dr. Jason Fung, Life in the Fasting Lane. Okay, so we're at the hour. I want to go ahead and wrap this up. Pastor Harden, you were amazing.
Praise
Both
God.
of you were amazing, Kevin.
Praise
But
God.
Pastor Harden, I'm going to be sensitive of the time because we are long now. 30 seconds. There is somebody in the audience who's watching this and thinking that it's snake oil. There's somebody watching this and saying, there's no way, no way, no way, no way. You've got 30 seconds to address them. What do you say?
This protocol has been a miracle for me. 4 months, it changed my life. And the proof is in the pudding, like they would say in the old days. Those that know me, those that have seen me, they could see the results. They could see the difference. But I know the difference. I feel better than I have felt in 20 plus years. And I want to encourage them. You don't have to, if you're not sick, that's good. And we want to make sure you don't get sick. But if you're sick, you don't have to be. If you're obese, you don't have to be. Take the Feel Great Challenge. Take it today by contacting us. We want to help you. We want to offer hope, help, and healing. And I just want to just share with you guys, this is a miraculous protocol that works. And each client that I have that I introduced this to, and they did it, they were consistent, they see the same results. So I want to thank you all again. I thank the CEO and the founders of this product, because sometimes we just need a little help. And this is what this is. It'll help you along the way. Thank you so very much.
I love that, Pastor Harden. Kev Dog, same question to you, brother.
Well, I mean, the power's in the testimonies. If you are on the fence, engage in all the live streams you can. Engage on every platform you can. Just dive into this, and if you're not convinced by what me and Miss Angela said, just keep watching, keep getting other testimonials, because you're going to find out what I said earlier. There's a common denominator, and that is that the blood results, they don't lie. Everybody has seen results, no matter who they were, no matter where they're from, no matter how old they are, no matter what their background is. I know the system works, and I took a chance because there was nothing else for me. There was absolutely nothing left for me to try. I'd tried everything, and I was at the point to giving up. And if any of you feel like that, just give it a try. It's 90 days, be consistent. And if it's not for you, you get your money back. There's really no reason for anyone not to try this system, and every reason for you to do so.
Amen.
I love it.
Yes.
You guys are amazing. I'm going to shut down your cameras. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Tiffany. Wow.
I know.
Wow.
I wish we could take credit for that, but we can't. We can't. You know, this was just awesome. I'm just here as an observer, like, yes.
Yeah. Okay, Dr. Tiff, silly question, but the same question I ask every week as we're wrapping it up. What do you say to that person?
What I say, if those stories don't move you, I don't know what's gonna. The time is gonna keep moving on. You're either gonna move forward or move backwards, because you can't stand still, because time moves on regardless. So the point is, how do you want to move on? Do you want to keep being miserable? Do you want to keep being unhealthy? And if you really feel like there's no answer, this is definitely worth trying.
I love it. You can find her at Dr. Tiffany Marie, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram,
YouTube.
You can find me as the Healthy Pit Master. It's the same name right here on every major social media platform. I'm literally on everything. I'm more active on some than others. More active on Facebook and YouTube right now, I think, than anywhere else. But on my Facebook, you can see the events You can see the events. You'll also see next week's event with Dr. Tiff. I'll have that up there, but also my in-person events. Go check them out. Let's meet. Let's meet in person. Okay. And are we doing this in July, Dr. Tiff? You and I?
Oh, on the 10th.
Are we doing this?
Why not?
Okay. So Dr. Tiff and I are doing an event together in well, it would be July 10th in Fort Lauderdale. We will be doing an event together in July. I am ecstatic for that. We're going to be doing one side by side. Details are on my Facebook. You'll see the one in Fort Lauderdale. Come and meet us both. Fort Lauderdale, July 10th.
Yes,
cool.
Can't wait to meet you. Awesome.
All right. Y'all have a wonderful night. Amazing testimonials. Share this live stream. Get with the person who invited you to it. If you're on the system, this one's going to be a hard one not to share out. This one's very powerful. Dr. Tiff, we'll see you next week.
Yes.